And welcome back. This is a quick little birthday hood win for Quentin Blake's brother. And they asked the question, who win a fight? Carnage from the Marvel Universe versus Victor Crowley from the Hatchet film series. I've done Carnage and Victor Crowley before, not together, obviously, before, so I'm familiar, obviously, with who these individuals are. Carnage Odyssey is the symbiote offspring of Venom. The reason for the red coloring is actually due to it mixing with Cleus Cassidy's blood, and therefore giving it that black and red coloring. As a symbiote offspring, it possesses still the same weaknesses as all symbiotes, but a greater resistance, as symbiotes basically go stronger host to host to host, taking on traits from the host, and then their offsprings basically become a stronger version of them. Carnage, by all definition, is a stronger version of Venom. Carnage also doesn't have as strong of a weakness to fire, if I'm not mistaken. No, is it fire or sound? I know Venom's actually developed a resistance, at least by symbiote standards, to sound. I think Carnage is more susceptible to fire, but Venom is more susceptible to sound. Carnage, though, is physically more durable and stronger than Venom is, who's already stronger than Spider-Man, who can lift well into the 10 tons range. Can basically block out or ignore the spider sense. Venom's very famous for being able to shapeshift his limbs, usually preferring things like super claws, axes, anything with blades that lets him cut and spill blood. That's what Carnage likes to turn his body into. He likes to also throw out tendrils, tentacles, slice and stab. He can possess people too by putting some of the symbiote inside of that person's body, although it is implied he needs to be in contact with them for that. Venom is sadistic and ruthless. Nowhere near invincible, though. Carnage. Carnage is very sadistic, ruthless, powerful, but nowhere near invincible. There are symbiotes out there stronger than Carnage. Toxin, for example, is an offspring of Carnage, and therefore is stronger than Carnage. And there are, Null, who is the symbiote god, obviously is much stronger than Carnage. I think Grendel is also much stronger than Carnage. He's not even the strongest among the symbiotes. He's just a very powerful symbiote. But he can be overpowered still, even though he's got a higher resistance to sound, I think, than Venom does. He's got a greater weakness to fire. He still has weakness to sound and a greater weakness to fire. Plus, he can just be annihilated by enough explosive firepower, what have you, reality manipulators, what have you. Victor Crowley basically was an abused kid, ended up dying, coming back as basically a revenant. A revenant is basically a spirit that continually wanders no matter how many times you put it down. Victor Crowley is physically much stronger than any normal human. Could easily go toe-to-toe with someone like, I did a versus with him and Jason, well, I think Jason still, depending on the version, is stronger. These two can easily go, I think, toe-to-toe with each other, and you're talking about a guy who can throw people like yards away, split people in half, pretzel them, snap, cut it, break them apart, and Victor's in that strength range. Victor also, carries, Hatchet with him, hence the series name Hatchet. He throws it very deadly with it, pretty accurate with it too. But is also capable of using other things like a machete or a straight axe. Anything he can get his hands on. Victor, being a revenant also, gives him means he's bound to his area. He can't go beyond the area that he's in, but he's got pretty much near full awareness of everything going on in that area, which is why he's able to just track down people as is. Now, there was a scenario where someone was just being extremely quiet and hiding, and he wasn't able to find them initially, although there was a sounding through the axe at something, and I think he missed and wasn't aware that person was there. But because people are generally so loud and, don't know how to just be quiet, he can find them no matter where they are in that location. And the big thing is, being a revenant of some kind, he can't be killed by any normal means. You can damage him, but he'll just reform at his old family house. Now, I can't remember if they burned down the house in one movie, and maybe that kind of slowed him down. But because he's a evil spirit, he's a roaming spirit, basically with physical form. There's no traditional way to kill him. I believe they deduce. In fact, I'm going to get Victor Crowley up here right now. Let's see here now. Victor Crowley. I just want to get the actual info on him so I know I'm referencing it correctly. So let's see here. Victor Crowley, the Hatchet Wiki. Hatchet Wiki. There's a wiki for everything these days. Was conceived in an unknown time period. Was mother Lena Crowley and his father Thomas Crowley. Where truth grows, or Victor's mother was once the nurse of something or other, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's see here. So, like I said, supernatural strength, capable of ripping off the skin of a reverend zombie, then tossing his upper torso that previously sliced into some considerable feet away. Yeah, he's very powerful. Spiritual immortality. Okay, being a revenant, eventual spirit type, he's practically immortal, where he's been shown to be killed by Mary Beth Dunstan, and yet he resurrected back at his home. This allows him to keep going without ever needing food, water, or other such basic human essentials. He's nigh invulnerable. But he's still vulnerable to human-based weapons, be it with melee weapons or firearms capable of suffering wounds that will still kill a regular human, but yet still he's capable of attacking his prey even when suffering enough damage done to his physical body. He has an entire body. His entire body is supernaturally enhanced and durable. Due to him being an undead force of vengeance, he can be shot, stabbed, cut in half, all without taking any real damage due to the fact of him being resurrected right back at his home, fully healed as if nothing happened, erasing all the previous damage. And because of this, he also has infinite stamina, awareness. When living on the small island swamp area for several years, he has gained unknown large spatial awareness where he can sense potential victims' whereabouts as long as they are on the island, as he knew where a character was despite never leaving the area or hunting down numerous fishermen. He's got good senses as well. Now, this all being said, in the movie, in the last movie, let me see here. In the last one, here we go. A few days later, maybe a few other random passengers on board the boat have been illegally taken swamp, blah, 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 blah. Sean stated was a legend that Mary, who pointed at his home, causing others to become visibly scared when the Marcus is trying to leaving, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Basically, call them the cowards. As Crowley cries, he could be heard screaming daddy. His massive monstrous killer reveals himself as he ran at Jim, grabbing and slicing him in half with a hatchet. And his wife, Janet, tried to flee the scene. It was too late, and Victor, behind her, ripped the top of her head with her jaw still open. As her patches now split up from each other in all directions as the duo tripled. Oh, well, gee, that doesn't say a damn thing about. That's the first Hatchet movie too. What the hell? So yeah. All right. So they manage to at least always get away from Victor, but Victor himself. I know there's some way you can stop a revenant, and if this is a supernatural fight versus, say, Victor, whoever's got the supernatural magic abilities could easily find a way to just release his soul, I'm sure. But this is not the case. So Carnage doesn't have anything to actually legitimately kill Victor. Cool. But Victor doesn't have anything to kill Carnage either. And Carnage can take a lot. I mean, technically speaking, Victor can take more of a beating. But in terms of an actual fight, based on what we have, Victor might be strong, might have a hatchet, but that's not going to actually do anything against Carnage. Carnage is eventually just going to get bored and leave. That's what's going to happen. Victor's going to throw an axe at him. Maybe he gets hit. Maybe he's like, come on, man. That really wasn't cool. Cool. Now, there, you can have it back. And just hits him in the head. Chippity chop chop, and he just starts walking away, only for him to get back. I was like, oh, you're you're a durable one, aren't you? And he starts ripping Crowley apart, and Crowley eventually disappears. Reforms back at his house, senses where Carnage is, goes to find him again. Like, why won't you just die? And that will go on for a while until eventually Carnage just gets bored and basically is like, screw it, I'm out of here. And, Victor maybe just tries to throw the hatchet again, but this time he just catches it with tension. Like, yeah, whatever. Just leaves. This is really a battle of just who gets bored first. And being a spirit of just pure rage and vengeance, being a revenant, I have a feeling it's going to be Carnage who's going to get bored first and then just leave. Because Carnage doesn't have anything to put Victor down, and vice versa. Victor doesn't have anything to put Carnage down, but only one of them has actual supernatural abilities that can be, or superhuman abilities that can actually do any lasting damage beyond just throwing a hatchet, or that's more versatile and more deadly than just throwing a hatchet or a spear or something like that. Carnage clearly has all the physical advantages over Victor in an actual fight. It's just that Victor's someone who, unless a certain circumstance is met, you can't really kill the guy. So, really, I gotta go with Carnage in this fight. For me, it's Carnage. So, maybe you disagree. If you do, that's cool. Let me know in the comments below why you think Victor wins over Carnage. But for me, it's Carnage. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you for the next one. Have a good one, folks. Later.